Welcome to Speak Forward English, where we help you master the language with confidence.
Hey, Jerry, it's so good to see you again.
Sophia, hey, how have you been? It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I've been doing pretty well, actually. I wanted to talk to you today about something that's been on my mind lately.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Self-discipline. You know, how it really plays such a huge role in achieving success. I feel like it's something we all struggle with at times, right?
Absolutely. I mean, who hasn't hit the snooze button one too many times or put off an important task? But you're right, it's such a critical skill to develop.
Exactly. And before we dive in, if you're listening to this conversation and want to improve your English listening skills, make sure to subscribe for daily English listening practice. It'll really help you pick up natural conversation patterns.
Yes, definitely subscribe. You'll get fresh content every day. Okay, so, Sophia, where should we start with this whole self-discipline thing?
Well, I think we should start with what self-discipline actually means. A lot of people think it's about being super strict with yourself or, punishing yourself when you mess up.
Right, I've heard that misconception before. But it's really more about making conscious choices that align with your long-term goals, isn't it?
Exactly. It's about delayed gratification, like choosing to do something that might not be fun right now but will benefit you in the future. Can you think of an example from your own life?
Oh, for sure. I remember when I was trying to get in shape a couple years ago. Every morning my alarm would go off at 5:30 a.m. for my workout, and man, my bed felt so comfortable.
I can totally relate to that.
But I had this rule, The moment the alarm went off, I would count backwards from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'd just throw the covers off and stand up. No thinking, no negotiating with myself.
Oh, that's the Mel Robbins technique, right? The 5-second rule?
Yes, exactly. And it worked like a charm. Because here's the thing. The more you think about doing something difficult, the more your brain comes up with excuses not to do it.
That's so true. Your brain is basically trying to protect you from discomfort, even when that discomfort is actually good for you. I use a similar technique for my writing. I'm trying to finish my first novel and...
Oh, wow, that's amazing. How's that going?
Well, it's been a journey. The hardest part was just sitting down to write every single day. I used to wait for inspiration to strike, I'd tell myself, oh, I'll write when I feel creative.
And let me guess, that didn't work out so well.
Not at all. Some days I'd wait and the inspiration just never came. So I made a commitment to write for at least 30 minutes every single morning, no matter what, even if what I wrote was terrible.
That's a perfect example of self-discipline right there. You created a habit and stuck to it regardless of how you felt. How long did it take before it became easier?
Honestly, about 3 weeks. The first week was brutal, I'm not gonna lie. But then something interesting happened around day 21 or 22. I actually started looking forward to my writing time.
Yeah, I've read about that. They say it takes anywhere from 21 to 66 days to form a new habit, depending on the complexity of the behavior.
Right, and that's such an important point about self-discipline. It's not about relying on willpower forever. It's about building systems and habits that eventually become automatic.
Absolutely. Willpower is like a muscle. It gets tired. I learned this the hard way when I was trying to eat healthier. I'd do great all day, making good food choices, but by evening, I'd raid the pantry for junk food.
The classic willpower depletion. So what did you do to fix that?
I changed my environment. Instead of relying on willpower to resist the cookies and chips, I just stopped buying them. If they're not in my house, I can't eat them, right? It's that simple.
That's brilliant. You removed the temptation entirely. James Clear talks about this in Atomic Habits, doesn't he? Making good behaviors easy and bad behaviors hard.
Yes, I love that book. He has this example about a guy who wanted to watch less TV, so he unplugged it after every use and took the batteries out of the remote. It added just enough friction to make him think twice.
That's such a smart strategy. So self-discipline isn't always about forcing yourself to do things. Sometimes it's about designing your life in a way that makes the right choices easier.
Exactly. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. They try to muscle through everything with pure willpower, and then they burn out and feel like failures.
Yeah, and then they give up entirely. I've seen this happen with people trying to start a business. They'll have this huge burst of motivation at the beginning, working 16-hour days, but it's not sustainable.
Right, because motivation is fleeting, but discipline is consistent. Can you give me an example of how someone could apply discipline to starting a business?
Sure. Let's say someone wants to start an online business while working a full-time job. The disciplined approach would be to set aside specific time blocks, maybe an hour before work and an hour after dinner, and treat those blocks as non-negotiable appointments.
Like scheduling a meeting with yourself?
Exactly. And during that time, you focus on one specific task, not checking email, not browsing social media, just working on that one thing that moves your business forward.
I love that. It reminds me of the concept of eating the frog. Have you heard of that?
Yes, Mark Twain, right? Eat a live frog first thing in the morning and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day.
Exactly. It means doing your most important or most dreaded task first. I started doing this with my work projects, and wow, what a difference it made.
How so?
Well, I used to spend my mornings checking emails, having coffee, scrolling through news, basically warming up for the real work. But by the time I got to the important stuff, I was already mentally drained.
Oh, I've been there. It's like you're busy all day, but not actually productive.
Yes! So now I identify my one most important task the night before, and I tackle it first thing in the morning. No email, no phone, nothing else until that task is done.
And I bet you feel amazing once it's completed, right?
Like a superhero. Plus, everything else in the day feels easier by comparison. It's really transformed my productivity.
That's awesome. You know what else I think is crucial for self-discipline? Having a clear why. Like understanding the deeper reason behind your goals.
Oh, absolutely. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Let's say someone wants to save money. If their only reason is, I should save money, that's pretty weak motivation. But if they know they're saving for their child's education or to achieve financial freedom so they can spend more time with family, that's powerful.
Right, because when it gets tough, when you really want to spend that money on something fun, you can remind yourself of that deeper purpose.
Exactly. I have a friend who wanted to quit smoking. He'd tried so many times and failed. But then his daughter asked him, "Daddy, why do you smell bad?" And that just broke his heart.
Oh, wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, so he wrote a letter to his daughter explaining why he was quitting and how he wanted to be healthy to see her grow up. And whenever he got a craving, he'd read that letter. And you know what? He's been smoke-free for 3 years now.
That's incredible. That emotional connection made all the difference. It's not just about the logic of smoking is bad for you, it's about the heart.
Right, and I think that applies to any area where you need self-discipline, whether it's fitness, career, relationships, whatever. You need that emotional fuel to keep going when things get hard.
Speaking of things getting hard, what do you think about the role of failure in building self-discipline? Because let's be honest, nobody's perfect at this.
Oh, failure is absolutely part of the process. In fact, I'd say it's essential. Every time you fail and get back up, you're building that discipline muscle.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people get discouraged after one or two slip-ups and they just give up entirely.
The what the hell effect, right? Like, I already ate one cookie, so I might as well eat the whole box.
Yes, I've totally done that. How do you combat that mentality?
I think it's about reframing failure. Instead of seeing it as this catastrophic event, see it as data. Like, okay, I slipped up. What can I learn from this? What triggered it? How can I prepare better next time?
That's such a healthier approach. It's almost scientific, you know? You're experimenting and adjusting.
Exactly. Thomas Edison had that famous quote about the light bulb, right? I haven't failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work.
I love that quote, and it's so true. Self-discipline isn't about perfection, it's about consistency over time. Even if you're only successful 80% of the time, that's still way better than not trying at all.
Absolutely. And you know what else helps? Having accountability, whether it's a friend, a coach, or even just a journal where you track your progress.
Oh yeah, accountability is huge. I joined a mastermind group last year for entrepreneurs, and just knowing that I had to report my progress every week kept me so much more focused.
That's the power of social pressure, right? But in a good way. You don't want to let your group down.
Exactly. And they also called me out when I was making excuses, which I needed, honestly. Sometimes we're too easy on ourselves.
Oh, for sure. We're all really good at rationalizing why we can't do something. I'm too tired, I'm too busy. I'll start on Monday.
Monday, the graveyard of good intentions.
Right? Like, why do we always wait for Monday or January 1st? If something's important, you can start right now, this very moment.
That's true. I think we like the idea of a fresh start, but it's really just another form of procrastination.
Yeah. There's this quote I love. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
That's beautiful and so relevant to self-discipline. We can't change the past, but we can absolutely change what we do from this point forward.
Exactly. So let's talk about some practical strategies people can use starting today. We've mentioned a few, but let's break it down even more.
Good idea. Okay, so first we talked about the 5-second rule for overcoming hesitation. That's number 1.
Right. Second would be habit stacking. This is where you attach a new habit to an existing one. Like, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 5 minutes.
Oh, I like that. The existing habit becomes the trigger for the new one. What else?
Environment design, which you mentioned earlier, make good behaviors easy and bad behaviors hard. Remove temptations, set up your space for success.
Yes. And then there's the concept of implementation intentions. Instead of saying, I will exercise more, you say, I will go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m.
Right, being super specific about the when, where, and how. That removes the decision-making in the moment, which is a lot of where people falter.
Absolutely. Decision fatigue is real. Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg wore the same outfit every day for that exact reason.
Yeah, one less decision to make. Although I'm not ready to commit to a uniform just yet.
Me neither. But I do meal prep on Sundays now, so I don't have to decide what to eat for lunch every day. Same principle.
That's smart. Okay, what about tracking progress? I think that's a big one too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's something psychologically satisfying about seeing your progress visually, whether it's checking off days on a calendar or watching a graph go up.
Right. Jerry Seinfeld has that don't break the chain method. He writes jokes every day and marks an X on his calendar. The goal is to not break the chain of X's.
And the longer the chain gets, the more motivated you are to keep it going. It's like a game.
Exactly. Gamifying your goals can really help with discipline. You could give yourself points for completing tasks or rewards for hitting milestones.
Speaking of rewards, that's important too, right? Celebrating small wins?
Absolutely. Self-discipline doesn't mean being a robot or denying yourself all pleasure. You need to acknowledge your progress and treat yourself sometimes.
Yeah, but the key is making sure the reward doesn't undermine the goal. Like, don't reward yourself for a week of healthy eating by binging on junk food.
Right. That would be counterproductive. Maybe reward yourself with a massage or a new book or a movie night.
Exactly. Something that supports your overall well-being. You know, this all sounds great in theory, but I think the hardest part is just getting started. How do you overcome that initial resistance?
That's a great question. I think you have to make the first step ridiculously small. Like, if you want to start exercising, don't commit to an hour at the gym, commit to putting on your workout clothes.
Oh, that's clever. Because once you're dressed, you're probably going to work out anyway.
Exactly. It's lowering the barrier to entry. James Clear calls this the 2-minute rule. Make your habit so easy it takes less than 2 minutes to start.
Right. Like, read before bed becomes read 1 page before bed. And usually you end up reading more than 1 page.
Yes, because the hardest part is always starting. Once you're in motion, it's easier to stay in motion.
Newton's first law. An object in motion stays in motion.
Exactly. Physics applies to human behavior too, apparently. But seriously, I think another crucial element is self-compassion.
Tell me more about that. Because self-discipline can sometimes feel harsh, you know?
Right, and that's the problem. If you're constantly beating yourself up for every mistake, you're going to hate the whole process. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness you'd show a good friend.
So if a friend told you they slipped up on their diet, you wouldn't call them a failure and tell them to give up.
Exactly. You'd say, hey, it happens. Tomorrow's a new day. What can we learn from this? That supportive inner voice is so much more effective than the harsh critic.
I love that. And honestly, I think that might be the secret ingredient that people overlook. You can have all the strategies in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself and treat yourself well, it's not sustainable.
Absolutely. Self-discipline rooted in self-hatred or shame just becomes another form of punishment. But self-discipline rooted in self-love and wanting the best for yourself, that's powerful and lasting.
Wow, that's really profound, Sophia. I hadn't thought about it that way before.
Thanks. I actually learned that from my therapist. She pointed out that I was trying to discipline myself into being perfect, and that's just not realistic or healthy.
Yeah, perfectionism is such a trap. It's all or nothing thinking, and it sets you up for failure.
Right. Progress, not perfection. That should be the mantra. Even 1% better each day compounds into remarkable results over time.
Oh, that's another James Clear concept, isn't it? The compound effect of tiny improvements.
Yes! If you improve by just 1% every day for a year, you'll be 37 times better by the end of the year. The math is pretty incredible.
That really puts things in perspective. You don't need massive changes, just consistent small ones. That actually makes self-discipline seem way less daunting.
Exactly, and I think that's the message we want people to take away from this conversation. Self-discipline isn't about being superhuman or perfect. It's about small, consistent actions aligned with your values and goals.
And having systems, not just goals. Setting up your environment, building habits, being kind to yourself when you stumble.
Right, and remembering your why, tracking your progress, celebrating wins, and adjusting when something's not working.
We've covered a lot of ground today. This has been such a valuable conversation.
It really has. And hey, if you've been listening to us and you want more conversations like this to improve your English listening skills, make sure to subscribe for daily English listening practice.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe. You'll get natural, engaging conversations every single day. It's the best way to train your ear and pick up authentic English.
Absolutely. Well, Jerry, this has been wonderful. I feel even more motivated to stick with my own self-discipline goals now.
Me too. Sometimes talking through these concepts really reinforces them, you know? Thanks for the great discussion, Sophia.
Thank you, too. And to everyone listening, remember, you've got this. Start small, be consistent, and be kind to yourself. Success is built one disciplined choice at a time.
Perfectly said. Until next time, everyone, keep practicing that self-discipline.
Take care.
Bye.